The gym is one of the most common types of locations in Death Road to Canada. The premise of the gyms is to give the player an opportunity to raise the strength or fitness of one of their characters, usually on their best attacker. However, there's often some confusion as to how to correctly use the stat-raising dumbbells or treadmills, leading the player to waste the chance. In this guide, we'll be going over all you need to know about each type of gym and how to properly raise your stats so that you will never make another mistake. Hi, I'm Dovyen, and I'm collaborating with Basement Skeleton to tell you more about the different gym locations in Death Road to Canada. First, let's go over the different gyms that you can encounter. Probably the most common is the Strength and Fitness Gym, which appears as an option in city missions where you only get to select from one of two options. Then, there's two other gyms you have a chance at finding through an Always Be Looting selection, or ABL for short. The gym apartment is what the name implies, a normal apartment you can loot with one gym room inside. Then, the Swarmed Gym is a harder one. It's an indoor gym mission with a lot more zombies, but also a couple vending machines in the starting room and two training rooms inside instead of one. Make sure you're also paying attention to the time before the mission starts. Consider bringing a flashlight if it's near nighttime. When encountering one of the gyms, there's an equal chance of either a large dumbbell or a treadmill spawning inside. The large dumbbell can increase a character's strength, while the treadmill can increase fitness. Both machines can only be used once for the entire duration of the mission. When interacting with the dumbbell, you get the option to select from a lightweight, a heavyweight, or a massive weight. Knowing the current stats of your current lead character is key to gaining the stat boost. If you choose the wrong option, the character not only wastes the chance, but will also hurt themselves as a result. And once you use the dumbbell or treadmill, you cannot use it again. For a character with level 0 to 1 strength, pick the lightweight. For a character with level 2 to 4 strength, pick the heavyweight. Finally, for characters with level 5 or beyond in strength, always pick the massive weight. So then what about fitness? The same rules that we just went over with the dumbbell also apply here, just that the wording of each type of exercise is different. Other than that, no extra explanations are needed. But while we're on the topic of fitness, it's worth mentioning that characters with the too swole to control perk cannot raise their fitness with a treadmill. This also includes other events such as trader camps and siege rewards. This is because a too swole to control character has their max fitness capped at level 2, or level 3 if you pair the perk with the berserk trait. So, the only way to raise it is by stat cap boosts, such as a skullhead, frozen friend, or by shaking hands with the Grim Reaper in the rare spooky graveyard. But what if the character is tired? The same rules still apply here. Being tired decreases a character's combat stats by -3, and will always be that way. Say for example, a character with 6 strength is tired. Their strength is now level 3 for the day. So instead of picking the massive weight, pick the heavyweight to get it back up to level 4. Then, once the mission is over and the character gets some rest, the tired status is lifted and they will even keep the extra stat they just got from the gym. So then, what if a character's strength stat is hidden from you? Are you supposed to know which exercise to pick? Do you just pick blindly? Not exactly, because there's actually a fairly simple way to figure this out. Furniture. Remember, per each level of strength, the character can pick up more types of furniture. By exploring the maps and then memorizing which furniture you can lift at each level, you can identify exactly how much strength that character has before using the dumbbell, and avoid potentially wasting a stat boost opportunity through a blind gamble. In this example, we have Rex with Athlete and Mysterious Past. We know that the Athlete perk gives +2 starting strength and fitness at level 3, but then the Mysterious Past gives an extra +3 across each combat stat at random. So upon recruiting him, we take him to the next mission and see what furniture he can lift. We see that he can't lift anything other than the specific chair, which requires level 4 strength. So then, once we take him to the gym, we have him lift the heavyweight, and look at that, our guess was correct. If you're unsure about exactly which levels of strength are needed for certain pieces of furniture, we got you covered. Here, Basement Skeleton has compiled some screenshots showing what levels are needed for a lot of furniture you can find. I suggest you pause to get a good look at each of these. Some levels of strength and fitness are also easier to spot depending on the character's perk and trait combinations. For example, at level 3, the fighter perk gives +2 starting strength, so right off the bat, you would know to give this character the heavyweight to get them to level 3. Then, the mega buff and ultra fit perks give +4 starting strength and +4 starting fitness, respectively. So this means you would still pick the heavyweight or heavy exercise to get these stats to level 5. So then what about hidden fitness levels? What about traits like the previously mentioned mysterious past or even practical? Not only do these ones give +3 to your strength, fitness, and shooting at random, but you can also pair them with other perks that further boost your starting strength and fitness, yet the totals remain hidden on the stats screen. Unfortunately, there's no concrete answer to the specific question that we could figure out. While we could apply the same previously mentioned method for identifying hidden strength, but that's obviously just for strength. By figuring out what furniture the character can lift, at most, this may or may not help you figure out where exactly those extra stat points went into, as there is a chance that those bonus starting stats may not even go into strength at all. This goes without saying, but there's also a chance that most other sieges and events in the game will reveal your party's stats, which will make this whole process a lot easier if memorizing is too difficult for you. And that's it! Now you've pretty much learned everything you need to know about the gyms, from how to use them correctly, and even how to identify hidden stats. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, be sure to show some support. Leave a like, drop a comment, and maybe even hype the video. If you want to watch other guides, Basement Skeleton has separate playlists which can be found in the description, covering the different rare characters, events, weapons, locations, and other in-depth mechanics of Death Road to Canada, such as personalities and stat combos, and even another collab video explaining the game's damage mechanics. Please keep in mind that not all of these videos are voiced, and please avoid leaving requests for specific videos down in the comments. Thank you to Basement Skeleton for the opportunity to voice over this guide, and thank you to you guys for watching this video. If you would like to see more of my content, I stream Death Road to Canada weekly on Twitch under the name Dovyen. I hope to see you there!